Underwater photography is a lot different from making home movies in your backyard. All of the ordinary problems are magnified by water pressure and light diffusion. This camera was a new design, built to stand pressure. My job was to test it in deep water in order to make a report to the government. The film was about gone. I decided to make one more shot and then surface. When suddenly, implosion. A container with surface pressure suddenly removed will attempt to equalize itself, which sets up a terrific suction. My whole body felt like a wet dish rag. I tried to rally, to pull the thing off of my chest, but I didn't have enough strength. Unless you've been deep underwater and experienced it, you can have no idea of the terrible power of pressure.
WM-2050, this is Coast Guard Radio, over. WM-2050, this is Coast Guard Radio, over. WM-2050, this is Coast Guard Radio, over.
Coast Guard Radio, this is WM-2050, over.
Message for Mike Nelson from Commander Bruce Cullen. Urgent. Contact November Mike Keebreck, Unit 2. Acknowledge, over.
Roger, Coast Guard Radio.
My diving buddy, Carl Williams, arrived just in time to help. Carl had come at the right time, but he'd come on other business. As a Coast Guard auxiliary man, I was subject to call. If I'd known how far this call was going to take me and what dangers I would have to face, I'd have been worried about a lot more than a sore chest and a broken camera. I got to the Coast Guard base as rapidly as I could. I'd never heard of the man who signed the message, Bruce Cullen. But I did know November Mike Keebreck, too. Intelligence Special Projects, which could mean most anything.
Nelson?
Yes.
I'm Cullen.
Hello, Commander Cullen.
You made a fast trip. Sit down. Nelson, I'm Navy Intelligence. Commander Adams of Coast Guard Intelligence recommended you for a rather important project that ties in with what you're doing right now.
You mean with the new camera?
Yes. We need you and the camera. Would you be willing to undertake a pretty rugged assignment for us?
How rugged?
Do you know anything about our BMEWS stations?
BMEWS?
Comes from the initials, BMEWS. Ballistic Missile Early Warning System. It's experimental as yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember reading something about it just recently.
One of our stations picked up a missile coming out of Central Asia.
Central Asia?
Exactly. As far as anyone knows, there are no missiles being developed in that area.
You any idea where it landed?
No, more or less. Our station got a pretty good plot on the bird before it left their radar. We figured a horizontal collision course and took an educated guess as to where it fell.
Maybe it didn't fall. Maybe it just broke up.
We don't think so. We think it's resting in a bay called Matanzas, which is off the coast of a country with whom we're friendly, but not friendly enough to suggest a cooperative effort.
Well, how do I fit into the picture? I mean, what do you got in mind for me?
For obvious diplomatic reasons, Navy can't go in. But we would like a good look at that missile. Pictures, if possible.
What makes this particular rocket so important?
We have information that none of the countries engaged in missile development know anything about this shot. Now, if it's a new type, or if one of the Central Asian countries is secretly developing an ICBM, we certainly want to know about it.
Well, I'm on a job right now, you know.
This is distance recorder camera. We were hoping you'd consider combining the two jobs.
Well, let me think about it, huh?
Certainly. Mike, this is a dangerous job. I don't want to minimize that. But we've got to have an answer in the next 24 hours.
Scouring the bottom of a bay for a giant firecracker that can go off when you look at it is not my idea of a summer outing. But I could see how important it might be. Somebody had to do it. And it looked like I was going to have company being that somebody.
Mike, whatever you're going to do, you'll need help, won't you?
I didn't say I wouldn't need any help. I don't want to involve you in something that I don't know much about.
Mike, I'm going.
Okay. Just remember, I didn't talk you into it.
Okay, I'll remember. Can you tell me anything at all about it?
It'll be deep. 25 to 35 fathoms.
150 to 200 feet. That's not much bottom time.
No, it isn't. Oh, here's something that might discourage you. There are no recompression facilities anywhere near. Now, you still want to go?
Well, it's safer than Russian roulette.
Cullen was an organizer. Carl and I were passed around like a couple of hot plates at a dinner party. We ended up on a Coast Guard plane bound for Matanzas Bay. The commander, meanwhile, had sent the camera back to the factory by jet plane and would meet us, with it, at Matanzas Bay. When Cullen arrived, he gave us one additional bit of information. Our intelligence reported strange ships in the Matanzas Bay area. Maybe we'd have more important problems than depth. We found we were to work off a fishing boat to divert suspicion.
Notice we have a good solid fix on the dead bird's location.
That's good. That means we won't have to do any preliminary diving. We just get in and get out.
But quick.
When you find her, don't forget to get the data recorder if you can. And be very careful removing the plate.
Okay, I will. What about those strange ships? You heard any more about them?
Our radar picked them up last night. We got a peek at them today. They're converted destroyers.
Seaboats?
Something like that. Big enough to blow us out of the water if they want to.
Oh, great. How much warning will our radar give us in case they head in this direction?
Not much. We have a camouflaged antenna, but it's not high enough. Gives us a sweep of about 20 miles.
About 45 minutes, give or take a couple.
You said those destroyers were big enough to blow us out of the water if they wanted to. You think they might want to?
Well, to be truthful with you, Mike, I don't know. We know they want the bird. How badly, I couldn't say.
Well, let's hope we don't find out. The strange ships worried me. But even more was the nagging reluctance to make a deep dive without recompression equipment.
The company guarantees there's no danger of implosion this time. You go forward and take a look at the radar while you get in your gear.
Okay, go ahead. Now, I'll leave you at 100 feet, and you count me down, huh?
5 minutes, and I come after you.
That's right. If you don't find me down there, don't stick around. Don't play hero. You come up right away, yeah?
Okay. Mike, what do we do if we're down below and the destroyers come by?
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Mike? 2 targets on radar.
How much time?
Not much. Not more than about 30 minutes.
Well, we can still make it.
If we're lucky.
Let's be lucky.
It's calling it pretty close, Mike.
Well, we won't be able to come back to this spot, will we?
No. They're steaming in pattern. If we leave and come back, it'll be too late.
Okay.
You ready? I'm with you. I don't know why, but I'm with you.
Here you go.
So far, so good. If we stuck to our schedule, we'd be all right. This was no place to get the bends, with the nearest recompression station hundreds of miles away. "100 feet, the safety position. There were minutes left to find the missile, take the photographs, and get out alive. The missile wasn't in sight. I couldn't use up too much bottom time finding it. I began a large circle around the anchor line. There it was. The pictures would be first. I checked the camera. Another implosion at this depth would be deadly. Everything seemed in order. I pressed the trigger. It worked. I was using film rapidly. Another few feet and the magazine would be empty. Almost 2 minutes gone. I had to send the camera to the surface, try to get the data recorder. If we accomplished nothing else, the pictures would be some help. And I had proven that the camera would work deep. With luck, I could free the data recorder and still pull out within the time limit. This was the time. Cullen admitted they didn't know who made this thing, what it was for, or anything about it. It could carry an explosive payload. If it did, I would never know what happened. I could see the thing as Cullen had described it, but it was bigger than I'd thought. I wondered what had happened to Carl. If he was still looking for me, he was long overdue. I managed to pull it out. It was heavy. I couldn't swim it up. I'd have to attach a buoy to a line and send it up the same way that I'd sent up the camera. The buoy was defective. I'd have to unreel the line by hand while ascending, and time had run out.
Where's Mike? He's overdue.
I waited for him. He didn't come up the chain, so I went lucky. I couldn't find a sign up anywhere. He could be all right, though. I didn't find any sign of the missile either, and he probably did.
Well, he better come up soon. Those ships aren't far off. Take a look. They're heading straight for us. Keep an eye on them. If they change course, let me know. I'll go in topside and see if I can spot Mike.
Any bubbles yet?
Not yet. Still looking. Marker buoy to starboard. He's bound the bird. Boy, straight up. All right, I've got it.
Well, it's the camera. But where's Mike?
I don't know. You'd better hurry. Those ships aren't far off. I don't want to leave without him.
Wait a minute. What do you mean, leave without him?
The film in this camera is vitally important. I have to get it back to headquarters. Comes to a showdown, we'll have to leave Mike.
The line was almost gone. It didn't look like there'd be enough to reach the surface. If I ever needed luck, now was the time. This wasn't the time. The line ran out.
2 more minutes is all we can give him, and we have to leave.
Let me go back down and find him. Don't pull out without Mike.
I'm sorry, Carl. We have to get this film away with or without Mike. He knows that.
Well, if we see any bubbles, I'm going down anyway. He's down there somewhere.
I was just below the surface. If I dropped the line now, it would sink. There had to be a way to support the line while I went to the surface for more. Then I got an idea. My wetsuit. the buoyant rubber would support the line easily. I couldn't lose that data recorder. I was too late. The boat was leaving without me.
Hey! Carl!
I had to attract their attention, or be left.
Any sign of him? No.
Wait. I see something. It's Mike. He's out on the surface.
Coming about. Stand by to pick him up.
Throw me a line! All right, give me plenty of slack. Okay, put it in.
That fishing boat must have had a hydroplane for a father. Cullen opened it up, and we walked away from the approaching boat. Boy, you're sure leaving them far behind. What do you get in this thing, anyway?
More than you'd suspect. We can raise 37 knots if we have to.
Well, we beat him to it, huh? Sure hope it helps.
Now, whether it does or not, you two did a fine job today. For a bunch of amateur fishermen, we got a pretty fair catch.
Well, I don't know. It's an awful small fish.
Well, I got pictures of a bigger one that got away.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Bridges, inviting you to join us for another action-packed story of underwater adventure 1 week from today.